Today I'm going to show you how to get the Hunter's Blood Figurehead and the Summoner of Myths title. Oh yeah, and summon the Shrouded Ghost. Now first things first, this is a guide for the Shrouded Deep Adventure. Now if you don't know, adventures are kind of like time-limited story missions, so they can only be completed for a limited amount of time. Now, I'm not really sure when this one actually ends. The Sea of Thieves website says it ends on May 5th, though in the game it says 2 weeks, and their official Twitter post says it ends on the 12th. I think it ends on the 12th, but it might end on the 5th, and I'm not entirely sure. It probably ends on the 12th, but I don't know. So just to be safe, I thought I'd clarify. I'm not sure if it ends on the 5th or the 12th. After that, the rewards and adventure will be removed, so you won't be able to get the rewards, and you won't be able to play the adventure. Also, I do really quickly want to note, defeating the Shrouded Ghost in this adventure does not count towards the Hunter of Shrouded Ghost commendation or the Legendary Hunter of Shrouded Ghost commendation. Those two commendations have been changed to a chance encounter, just to keep the original commendation as rare and notable as it was before the adventure. Anyway, with that, let's start. First off, this adventure is a little bit different from the other ones, as it does require a few things. So, very first thing you're going to want to do is talk to Lorena outside of any outpost, and click the Begin Adventure option. This is optional, you don't actually have to do this if you want, but it gives you a little bit more story. Then you're going to want to head to M12 on the map, and go to this ship, the Killer Whale, Merrick's original ship. And then board it, and you will see Merrick and Belle. They both have a bunch of dialogue options if you want to get a little bit more backstory, but if you just want to go right ahead, talk to Belle and hit Continue Adventure. You can also skip Lorena and just start the adventure from here. Now Merrick and Belle will say they need your assistance in summoning the Shrouded Ghost. Now summoning the Shrouded Ghost requires 5 things. You first will require 1 effigy from every single Megalodon. So an effigy of the Hungering One, an effigy of Shadowmaw, an effigy of the Ancient Terror, and an effigy of the Crested Queen. Once you have all 4 of these effigies, which we'll get into in a second, you will then need 5 players to summon the Shrouded Ghost. 5. So you will need at least 2 crews. I just wanted to say that completely up front so you knew what you were getting yourselves into. You can then talk to Belle and then say you want to go after any of the 4 Megalodons, either Hungering One, Shadowmaw, Ancient Terror, Crested Queen. Now, before you decide, you're going to want to look at the table here and look at these 4 plates. When a server starts, each plate will be empty with nothing on them. But progress for this adventure is server-wide. So if someone else on the server has already collected some of the effigies, there may be some on a few of these plates. Each one of these plates is for a different Megalodon and can have a different effigy. The color of the effigy coordinates to which Megalodon it's from. If it's blue, like this, it's the Hungering One effigy. If it's black, like this, it's the Shadowmaw effigy. If it's gold, it's the Ancient Terror effigy. And if it's purple, it's the Crested Queen effigy. So you want to pick one that isn't on the table already. As a quick note, if you accidentally pick one that's already on the table, you can go to your ship and vote to cancel the adventure, and then go talk to Belle and hit continue again. Now let's talk about collecting an effigy. Once you've decided on which effigy you want, Belle will then give you 4 items. A note like this that describes what you have to do, a Megalodon summoning flare, a inactive Megalodon effigy, and a map of an island. Now depending on what Megalodon you picked, you'll have to go to a different island. For the Hungering One, you have to go to Mermaid's Hideaway. For Shadowmaw, you have to go to Ruby's Fall. For Ancient Terror, you have to go to Thieves' Haven. And for Crested Queen, you have to go to Marauder's Arch. Once you arrive on your designated island, go to the map Belle gave you, and go to the circled area. Inside the circled area, you will find a cannon that you can't use properly. You're going to want to take out your Megalodon summoning flare, put it in there, then after a few seconds the fuse will light, and it'll shoot the flare. Then the flare will do this weird glowy green light thing, and a Megalodon will spawn. Basically, take your ship over there, shoot it a bunch with cannonballs until it eventually is defeated. Then swim out to the Megalodon's body, and there you will find this glowing, pulsy thingy. That is the Megalodon's soul. You have to wait till the Megalodon falls down, then go over to it, pull out the effigy, and you'll have to hold the interact key, whatever that is, for a second, and then the effigy will go all sparkly and glowy. Then you're going to sail all the way back to the Killer Whale. Once you get there, slap it on the table, and rinse and repeat until you have all 4. It's pretty much the exact same process for every Megalodon, just in a different point. If you have a whole bunch of crews, you can split up and do these relatively quickly. Once all 4 are on the table, you're going to need your 5 players. Also, just as a real quick note, once all 4 effigies are on the table, a green beacon will come out of the top of the Killer Whale. It'll look like this. Basically a Reaper's Chest beacon, but all green. So if you need more people, this should let everyone else on the server know that you need help. Also, alternatively, if you want to do this but don't want to spend a ton of time gathering the effigies, you could just server hop until you find a server with this beacon. I tend to find quite a few of them because a lot of people are doing this adventure right now. Now once you've got your 5 people and your 4 effigies and you're all on the killer whale, you're going to need to all pull out instruments and then select the shanty, summon the megalodons. Now you do have to play it for a bit, but just to be clear, it sounds like this. Now after all 5 people have been consistently playing it for a second, the runes on the table will start to light up, and then the Shrouded Ghost will spawn off the right of the ship. Now once it's summoned, you can either stay on the killer whale or run back to your ships. There's only a few cannons on the killer whale, so it's probably better if you're on your ships. Now this fight has a couple stages. The first one is just the Shrouded Ghost. Shoot it as much as possible, and then it'll do this thing where it kind of dematerializes. Once it leaves, some of Flameheart's ghost ships will show up. Once you take out a certain amount of those, a special ship will spawn, and that one will drop treasure. Quite a bit of it, and I would recommend picking this up. Then once it's down, the Shrouded Ghost will return. Shoot the Shrouded Ghost bunch. Once it's taken a certain amount of damage, you'll then get the Shrouded Ghost and ghost ships. Then after a brief period, Pendragon will show up to help you out. And then just keep shooting the Shrouded Ghost. Once the Shrouded Ghost is out of health, it'll do this jumpy thingy into the air, and you'll have defeated the adventure. Also, the Shrouded Ghost drops a ton of loot, so I would make sure to grab that. Head over to the killer whale, talk to Belle, and hit the complete adventure option. Then Belle and Merrick and Pendragon will talk for a bit, and then you'll get the Hunter's beloved figurehead as a memento from the adventure. Now, you're technically done the adventure, but if you want the Summoner of Myths title, you have to complete all the deeds. So, first, go into your menu, Adventures, Deeds. Now, this adventure only has 6 deeds, so it's not a lot, and you should hopefully have a few of these already. So, easiest one is defeat the summoned Shrouded Ghost. All you have to do for this one is you or your crewmates have to hit the Shrouded Ghost before it's defeated. Next is take part in the summoning ritual. You have to be playing one of the instruments to summon the Megalodon. Then add the Hungering One, Crested Queen, Shadow Maw, and Ancient Terror effigies to the table. Basically, you just have to collect that effigy and put it on the table. You do have to get all 4, to be clear. Now the plus side is you don't have to get the 5 people, and you don't have to do this in one session later. If you want, you could log in solo, go to the killer whale, and when you talk to Belle here, if you've already completed the adventure, you have to hit replay adventure, and then select which of the things you want. Then go kill that Meg, come back, put the effigy on the table. It is very important you have to put the effigy on the table, just to be clear. And then you can leave and come back another day and get another effigy until you got them all done. Once you've completed all 6 of those deeds, you get the Summoner of Myths title. And with that, I believe that is pretty much everything. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. I make these guides like this every week on Friday, so if that sounds like something that would be interesting to you, if you would consider subscribing, that would mean a lot. And if this video was helpful, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, that would be greatly appreciated. And with that, I will see you guys next week.